Hello guys and welcome to my channel. We're trying to build a colony on Mars in Terraformers. So if you haven't seen this game before, it's a really interesting management turn-based feel. It plays almost like a board game. I do really like it and I've been playing it honestly a ton. And I do recommend it if you're looking for something with a strategic feel to it, with a strategic slash management field that doesn't really last that much. So a round will take about 1 or 2 hours. So you can really try it and give it a go if you like it after this video. Now we're gonna start a new game. This game has a lot of scenarios in which you need to do certain tasks. Like for instance, in this game, you'll need to build up bases on Mars and try to terraform Mars. One of the challenges involves a lot with working with spreading certain lives. We'll see the mechanic in game once we get to it. So there are different challenges. I haven't went through all of them. The one that I really like to play is the one involving earning a certain score. So I'm gonna try to beat the hardest scenario, but I'll be honest, this game is pretty chaotic, it's really random. So there are certain strategies you need to do, but it really depends on the playthrough and what you get. And I think I've played this scenario maybe like 50 times, and I think I won it just 2 or 3 times. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we're probably gonna lose this scenario because it's really hard and you'll have to be a bit lucky to actually finish it. But yeah, we're just gonna give it a go and see how it ends. Okay, so we're gonna select the red planet awaits. Again, these are just the different challenges that you get for this game, and we're gonna pick the highest difficulty, which again it's Utopian plus plus plus, and it's really difficult, and you'll see in a second why. So let's just hit play and see how we do. So here we are in the game. We'll get into some more of the mechanics a bit. I'll explain the mechanics a bit later. But basically, when you enter the game, you have certain stats that we can pick. Now, if you have managed to previously do a run with a certain level of score, then you'll unlock other starts. But because I haven't played this game in a while, the only start that we have available is the normal start, which gives us these resources and also gives us these buildings. We'll see it in a second how that works. So the game is turn-based. Each turn you do certain actions, and basically some of the things that you do, some of the actions that you take during the turn, is starting to explore Mars. So node by node you will unlock more places in there. You can use build buildings that are provided each turns, like cards that you can play. In order to perform actions, you'll need to use these resources on the left, and also on the right you have some terraforming parameters that you need to achieve. Each of them have 3 levels, and you get some bonuses when you manage to achieve to bring one of the parameters to level 3, or each level you get a certain bonus. Now On the left right here we have our support, and this is the main challenge of the game. Basically right now we are at 100 support and we get 0 per turn. We basically lose when this counter reaches 0. So when you run out of support, the game it's over, you basically lose. To win, you just need to make sure that you, depending on the scenario, but for score scenarios, you need to get a certain score in order to win. In our case, for this scenario, it will be 1000. So basically in this game, you're trying to reach a score of 1000 before your support falls down to 0. When you start with 0 support, but usually pretty early on your support will start to drop. Now, when you get into the game, the first decision you have to make is to choose a leader. You'll get offered 2 choices, and basically a leader first of all gives you a certain buff, a certain passive buff, which is this one here. And keep in mind, the buff of the leader will be permanent for the rest of the game. So once you select a certain leader, you'll get that buff for the rest of the game. After 10 turns, you select a new leader. So when selecting leaders, is good to have to keep in mind what buffs you should select. Now, also leaders have actions. All of them will have the explore action, and it's important to explore each turn. We'll see how that works when we actually play the turn. But the other leaders will have 2 extra actions available. In this case, for this leader, you have cultural festivals, which is spend 5 water to gain 55 support, or local art gallery. Construct a local art gallery for free. The other one has off-Mars expedition. This basically will increase the development level of a celestial body, which we'll see in a second how that works. And Robotropolis, which basically founds a new city as a type of robotic headquarters. And the founding costs free titanium and free power. And I'll be honest, this is a pretty tough choice. So there's a kind of big pool of leaders you can pick from. Again, each have their own specialty and their own actions that they can do. Now, judging these 2 leaders, honestly, both of them are pretty good. There are some leaders which are completely useless. But these 2 guys are pretty good. Now, she's really good because of this action. Right now, we have 100 support. Support in this game is really important, especially on the higher difficulties. In this difficulty, it is important to try to maximize your support. I kind of hated that we got this option as a first leader. It would have been way better if she came in a bit later, let's say 2nd or 3rd. But basically, if you spend 5 water, we have 10 right now. We could get more. We'll see in a second how. Oh, and I already picked her. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so we're playing with her. So this action allows you to get some support pretty fast, and is good at first to double our support. That will last us quite a lot for the rest of the game. So she is good from that perspective. Now, the other guy was also good because one of his actions was to build a city for cheap. So you could found the city pretty cheaply. Normally cities cost 30 food and 10 water, but for just some iron, I think it's some titanium, I think it was, and some power, then you could have built the city. So both of those options were really good. I think I clicked her by mistake. I chose her by mistake, but I think that, can I actually, oh, I can revert. Okay, so yeah, if you do in the game, you do a certain actions that you don't want to do it, you can revert. So if I select this guy, I can hit this button here to revert that action. So yeah, so she's really good because she has these actions that allows you to spend 5 water and gain 75 support, which at the start of the game is really good because you can basically double your support. Support, it's maybe easier to get at the beginning, but later on you won't be able to keep track of the support because each turn the support will start to fall and you'll have to need to gather more and more. So like it says here, effect of the next expectation rise minus 14 support. So at some point, right now there is no chance that the expectations will rise, but at some point the expectation will rise and you'll have to pay 14 support per month. And start with 100, that doesn't really gives us a lot of turn. And she can be used to add support quickly. Unfortunately, at the start of the game, you want to explore, but second leader, she's really good because you can basically use this a couple of times and get like 300 support or something. So she would be good, but I don't think we can use her at the beginning of the game. Now, this guy, this skill is a bit useless because, to be honest, celestial development is a bit useless. This works with, you can set up outposts on different planets in the solar system. This has came in with the DLC, so if you don't have the DLC, you won't have this leader with this specific action. But his one action is to found a city by costing only 3 titanium and 3 power. Like I said, normally a city costs 40 food and 10 water to found. So basically this saves you a lot of resources. Now for their celestial for the specialization buffs, passive buffs, Space Enthusiast, I'll be honest, isn't that great. It gives you like 2 support per level 1, so that will mean maximum 10 support, which sounds good in principle, but for that you really need to invest into celestial bodies. But the next drop will be minus 14 support, so basically you have to invest a lot in order to get that buff, and it gives you maybe just one single turn, and this will start to rise and rise. Now this is pretty good. So each turn you get certain projects. Projects are these things right here. You get certain projects that you can research. You see how that works. If you have 400 more support with her, then you can gain an extra project per turn, and you can also store 2 extra projects. This ability is interesting, but I'll be honest, you rarely will have more than 400 support for this ability to trigger. So right now I'm thinking of going with this guy because he has this skill which will allow me to build a city pretty fast and have a quick city placed, and this can allow us to start to pretty quickly start with 3 cities. So I'm actually gonna go with him. Hopefully she will appear later on in the game, but again, both of them are really good. It's good that we got them, but it's a bit wasteful that they both appeared on the first turn. So I'm gonna hit confirm, and now we have this guy. So, like I said, you can do certain actions during a turn. You can either do one of the actions from this guy, from the leaders that you picked. The leader will last for 10 turns, so after 10 turns you get to pick another one. We get his buff, and your buffs will be visible here. Okay, don't need that for now. And we got Space Enthusiast, which basically says that for every new celestial body you develop, you'll get an to support, which again, it isn't that good, to be honest. I think the best one that you can get, there's a leader that gives you a discount for region buildings. Maybe we'll see him during our play. During the turn, you can do one of the actions from the leader. All of them will have an explore action, and that's probably the action that you're gonna do each turn. And during the turn, you can also construct buildings, either in cities or on the map. Right now, here we can go into the city, and we can construct it right here. But first, we need to place a headquarter. Each city will have a headquarter. Think of it as a population building, and that headquarter will provide some support. So when I place it, notice that we get +1 support, but that depends on how happy your city is, which again depends on various stuff. But we'll get to talk more when we actually get into it. Notice that these building spots also have different connections made through each other. Basically, in this game, some of the buildings interact with each other. So if you have two placed close to one another, then they might buff each other. So it's good to keep in mind the actual position where you place each one. Right now we need food, and for that we can place the greenhouse farm. I'm trying to get to 40 food and have 10 water again as soon as possible, so we could found another city. But we should also try to... we actually have the resources already to build a new city. So right now we're trying to expand as fast as possible, and I'm gonna place this greenhouse farm on this tile because I want to surround this 4 blocks with greenhouses. Actually, our start is pretty good, to be honest. You can get different layouts for cities and you'll see it, and this is one of the best layouts for the start. But right now I want to push food as fast as possible because I want to be able to expand pretty well, and for that we need quite a lot of food. Again, we are now with that greenhouse, we're producing 1 per turn, and food and the city costs like 40 food, so it will take a long time once we build out to build the second one. Now this is an population zone. We'll see a bit later exactly how population works, but you can also place that to get some influence. But right now we have just 24 food. Next turn we could place it, but I will actually wait for us to get the city instead. Okay, now going back to the map, like I said, each turn you'll probably explore. Explores unlocks the next node on the map. And right now I'm trying to prioritize, and basically when you explore you also get the resources listed on top of the node. The size of the resources tells you how much of those resources you'll get. Right now I want to expand, so I need more water, so for that reason I'm gonna go to this block, and here you basically receive 4 water and 3 nitrates as resources from that exploration. Now the quantity varies a bit, but is usually depends on the size of the icon of that and how big the section is. Now each zone on the map will also have certain points of interest on it. In this case we get an aquifer, so if we were to expand to this node and build the mine, we could get 1 water per turn, and we'll do that a bit later probably. But yeah, anyways, this is our start. We're pretty good. We can just hit enter and go to the next turn. Okay, for this start, food is really important. Each turn you'll get to pick out of 3 different cards that you can build either inside your cities or also on in regions, but we'll see that a bit later. But in this case we have a choice between a greenhouse farm, which gives us food, a tritium thermogenerator, which will cost 9 tritium, which is this green thing, and will produce 1 power per turn, or a laboratory, which takes in nitrate and silicons and produces to build and produces science, which is this one. Now in this case I'm gonna pick the greenhouse because we really do want to prioritize food for this run, because we want to build a new city. So here again I have choices of where to go. I could go to these locations, and I think I'm actually gonna do this because having a smiley face on the node when you explore it will give you extra support. So in this case we got also 21 support. Now we are at 122. Now this location is a bit special because it has this symbol here, and that indicates that this is a foundable city. So here you can actually found a city, but in order to do that you need the resources to found a city. You can found as many cities as you want while you have the resources, but you need to have the resources. Also in order to found a city you need to have all adjacent locations explored already, so you need to also explore these 2 in order to be able to found it. So in this case I'm actually gonna do that, and we could found it in the traditional way, so paying 25 food and 10 water. And I think they actually changed this because before it was 40 food, but maybe they reduced a bit the quantity of food required. So we could found it this way, and you can found as many as you want. But we do have this skill from this guy that allows us to found the city with 3 titanium and 3 power, and I think we're gonna do that. So right now the plan is to explore these 2 sections and then found the city. So let's go ahead. Sometimes you'll get events which are separate things, and in this case we get to pick between 3 different cards, and of course I'm gonna pick the green farm. This is a habitation module. This will give you population. We'll see how that works, and the laboratory we already have seen. So I'm gonna pick the greenhouse. Now in this screen this is a bit interesting. So you can also pick that, you can pick it later if you want to think about it by clicking this button. So in this city, we basically want to have another three production buildings, three food production buildings right here. And then there's a building called, I think it's fertilizer factory, that gives a bonus to all food production buildings that are adjacent to it. So basically right now we could just pick this tuber farm, and this is similar to the greenhouse, but instead of requiring water, it requires nitrates, and we'll get nitrates at some point. But we will also need power at some point, and for that we need a tritium thermogenerator. This costs 9 tritium and produces 1 power. And notice that we have limited power. In order to expand, you use up power. And basically at some point you can lock yourself out, because to get resources you mostly need to expand, to explore different locations. That's how you get the bulk of your resources. And in order to do that, you need power. So if at a certain point you consume all of these 47 power that you have available, and by the way, power is used for a variety of things, not only exploring, you can just destroy your run, because you cannot expand anymore, you cannot really do anything. So there might be an argument to be made to also buy the tritium generator now to get that instead, but I'm actually gonna I think I'm gonna commit to building food at start, so I'm gonna get the tuber farm and be sure we have that all fit in. Now, for the exploration, we said we wanted to explore these 2 nodes, just to get to be able to construct on this city. By the way, but we'll see a bit later, but rock costs power to remove, so you'll need to keep that in mind. But anyways, we could build a habitation module, but I think we're okay for now. I'm just gonna hit enter. And at this point, the script is triggered that gives us 1 trade route. So let me close this for now and see how that works. In this screen, you have this trade panel, and here you'll have the number of trade routes listed. Basically, what trade routes allow you to do is to change a certain resource to another resource. So, for instance, if I want more, let's say more nitrate or power, I can just hit this to import it, and I can hit this to export it. And next turn, basically the game will take 1 of my food and convert it to 1 nitrate, just to have it. You can build buildings to have more trade routes. There are some scenarios, some other events that can give you trade routes. One of the starts will actually give you trade routes from the start. But if you're playing others, the normal starts, like balance or most of the other ones, you'll get trade routes at this point. There could be also events that disables trade routes, so you cannot trade. But the idea here is that you trade with Earth. So so here we provide food, and then we get nitrates in return. Now, do we actually need to trade something? Here, I don't know. I think I'm gonna need some tritium at some point, but we have a lot of tritium around us. We could get some nitrate and start producing that, because there is a building we need it for the tuber farm, and there is a building that requires a lot of nitrate, which I want to construct. We could also get silicate, but we do have it here because I want to build a laboratory. So I think I'm actually gonna go with science for a bit. So I'm gonna sell some food because the only thing that we are producing in a surplus, and I'm gonna buy some science because pretty soon we'll have to construct a science building, and we'll see it quite soon. And I want to make sure I have enough stock of it. So I'm just adding, plus the ones that we get from exploration, this should be enough. So I'm gonna buy some science there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and continue to expand. Here we get an meteorite location. Sometimes you get this harvest resources options, which honestly are pretty good. This basically you'll pay for power and then get 8 nitrates in return. But yeah, I think this is good. So we're gonna hit, oh, we can still research a project. This bus station is pretty good because it gives you extra expansion points, and we'll see it in a second how that works. The tritium generator and the laboratory we have seen already. Now I'm really tempted to pick this one, but I don't know if we're gonna encounter enough tritium generators in the next turns. But we do have like 41 power left. Sure, let's pick the bus station. This should give us an extra, should make us a bit to expand a bit easier at the beginning. Okay, now the bus station gives us expansion points. You can get expansion points either by building getting populations, robots, or by buildings that strictly mention that they will provide expansion points. And we can build this anywhere. Let's build it here. And now we have this button which allows us to expand. Cities can expand, and we can click this. We can expand to this section right here. And now this allows you to build buildings on top of that location. Now for this specific location we have an aquifer. Here we can build a mine to extract some water each turn, or we can also use the extract water for oceans option, which will actually increase our ocean level. For now I'm just gonna build a mine because water is pretty valuable at the start. And then we have another expansion left. We could go to this section, but personally I would like to just to expand here, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Here I'm gonna wait until I get this to discovered. Now, because we built that building, we don't have any more titanium to actually use this skill. This guy still has 6 turns, so that's not necessarily a problem. So I want to actually explore this section because it will give me some titanium, and hopefully that way we should have enough to build that city. So we'll get 6 science, 2 titanium, and 2 tritium, I think, and 3 titanium it was. This soil factory building is really good because it allows us to basically all of the buildings that are food producing buildings and are adjacent get +1 to food. So if we build that building here and surround it with greenhouses, it will produce a lot of food. So I want to slowly build up until that. It costs like 22 nitrates, so it's a lot of resources, but I want to slowly build to that. Now, we already used the leader this turn. Here I think I'm gonna do something. Instead of buying science, I'm gonna buy water. Because next turn, if we get an extra water, we could build a greenhouse gas farm, or we could also expand to a new city if we want. So let's just go to next turn. And this turn, another event is triggered. We get an exploration satellite. Okay, I'm gonna skip this for now and to explain a bit better this one. So exploration satellites is a skill that you have, if I'm not mistaken, each 2 turns. That basically allows you to explore any 3 turns, sorry. Each 3 turns you can explore a location on the map without having to pay any electricity. So this is a really good exploration tool. In the beginning of the game you get 1, but you could use certain projects to increase that number. So yeah, this is a pretty buff to us. It's good to explore further away locations, but at the end of the day, sometimes you might need to do it also for closer ones. Now, this is an archaeology selection. This again is related to one of the DLCs, so if you buy just the base game you won't have that. But basically in each city you can build an archaeology. This is a really expensive building. It has multiple levels which you can upgrade, but it has some pretty big benefits. So in order to upgrade them you need certain levels of population. So for this one you need, for the second upgrade, you need at least 4 people living in that city, which will take some time. And for the first level usually you need at least 2 population in order to build it. But it can give you some pretty big bonuses. Now in this choice we can either pick the universal factory, which provides robots, and robots are similar to populations, so they provide expansion points. So 2 robots basically means you can expand to other locations. You get the central park, which provides comfort of living. Comfort of living is basically one of the factors that provides happiness for your people, which in turn provides comfort of living, which in turn provides support. So basically right now we get one support per change, because the radiation protection provides some extra support, and then we get minuses from the terraforming parameters. When you increase these you get a bulk support amount, plus this improves, so your people will be a bit happier in their colonies, in their cities. And in this case we just have we get extra one support per turn because of the happiness of this headquarter. Now if we were to increase the comfort of living, then we'll get more support per turn extra. So that's what you can do with the Central Park. And then for the archaeology, you basically get an extra population. You basically get more expansion points and can expand to multiple locations. And there are some things you can do with that. Now, honestly, all three of them are pretty good. There are some useless archaeologies, I'll be honest. All of these three are pretty good. Now I'm thinking of either going with the Central Park because it provides a lot of support, and also here you get from second level onwards you'll get extra atmosphere and oxygen, which is good. It helps you with the terraforming parameters. But also archaeology is really good because it can help you with population and give you a lot of expansion points. So honestly, I don't know exactly which one I should pick. I'm a bit more tempted to go to the archaeology route because I think it will be a bit more useful early on. I don't think we'll have the population to justify it in one single city to justify the Central Park at first, but it's also the Central Park is a bit cheaper. So okay, I usually go with the archaeology. Right now, let's actually try to use this. So we're gonna go with the Central Park and see how it goes. Now, besides that, we got to choose an project from here. And I'm actually gonna go with the robot hub. It's pretty useful because it allows us to get 2 expansion points. So it's similar to that building there. And this can be plugged into any city to make expansion a bit easier. Okay. So we have that. Now we need to decide where we want to expand. We need to decide where we want to explore with our leader. So first of all, with our leader, actually, we're gonna use his skill. So in order to use this leader skill, you need to go into a certain city location and place the main helicopter building using his skill. So for that, I'm gonna use the skill here. You can place over the rocks if you want, and in this case, we're actually gonna place it right there because I want to clear up these 2 rocks and maybe create a power location here, a generator circle, so that you'll see a bit later we can use other buildings to get benefits there. And we have enough for another location. We have enough food and water. We could place some greenhouse farms. We could place this habitation module and maybe even build the archaeology there, which is unlocked here now. We just need some nitrate. But actually, I'm gonna wait to see if we can have an extra city first. So for that, we need to find a city location, and we can just go ahead there. Now for the exploration, I want to really get a support location. If we don't have a really important resource that we need to get, we kind of want to make it to add the tuber farm and also soil factory. So with the satellite exploration, I intended to go to this location. It doesn't have quite a lot of resources on it. It just has small nitrate, but the support bonus is pretty good, and at the start that's basically the only way to get support. So yeah, this is this turn and we can hit enter. Now space exploration event gets unlocked, basically you can develop solar outposts on different solar bodies in our solar system. This will give you some small benefits. I'll be honest, I don't find the benefits that great. The one probably be the best one in the game is this one, Europa, which gives extra water or extra ocean. Ocean being really difficult to come by. We'll see it how we can do it a bit later, but I find Europa to be by far the most useful one, so I'm just gonna pick it. And now we are brought to this screen. To be here, you can just zoom in and out. And here Europa has been discovered, you can say. Now, in order to actually develop it, you'll need this type of projects, which are received like normal projects, the Extra Martian Exploration Mission. And they will, you will need to complete them to pay the amount of required resources, in this case 10 energy. And in order to complete them, you need to send up energy using your trade routes. So in this case I have just a single trade route, so if we each turn we pay the energy, then we will use about 10 turns to complete that. For Europa, the first level gives us extra ocean, which is it's a good bonus, and we might use it, but right now I don't want to really pay attention to that. We're gonna do it in the future. Okay, besides that, we could build these buildings, but like I said, I prefer to get a new city. We need to explore somewhere, so I'm just gonna use this one because of the nitrate, and it will open up a lot more of the map. We can still research a project. I'm gonna buy the tritium right now because we need to start creating a stock of generators for us to be used somewhere around here, and we could probably start building it next turn. Now for building, I want to build this tuber farm. I'm gonna keep the trade route on water, and if I get to 20 water, so I have enough for another city, I'm gonna build another greenhouse farm. But for now, I think I'm just gonna end the turn. And here we go. We got the first support hit. So from time to time, you'll get certain hits to support, and now we had 148 support. But before we got +1, I think, per turn. But now we will get minus 14. And this will scale up, and you'll continue to get less and less, and the support will fall more and more as you play the game. So that's why this scenario is really difficult, because this accelerates a lot. So again, I don't think we're gonna win this scenario, but hopefully at least it will be entertaining. Now for the buildings, we get this building house robot dispatcher center, which basically provides to support for every robot in the city. If we had the robot archaeology, this might have been useful, because that will provide a lot of robots plus to support for each one. Might be interesting. Also we have the robot hub, but we need to start working on laboratories, so I'm gonna just keep this for when we have the next city available, so that we can start building laboratories there. Now, for our exploration, water is pretty important right now, and tritium is pretty important because I want to start tritium generators. So I think I'm gonna expand to this tile actually, which good enough because this is also on a city location. So we're gonna probably expand here next. Now we have enough tritium to build this building. So I'm gonna clear up 2 rocks and build the tritium generator. Notice that our power is starting to fall. Here I think I'm gonna keep it to keep 2 water trade routes, because we basically need 20 to start building a greenhouse farm and to expand to this city. But then I think I'm gonna switch to power instead to make sure we don't run out of power. And with that, I think we did everything we wanted this turn. So I'm gonna hit enter. This is another mechanic in the game. At certain points, you'll get technologies. For technologies, you need to pay the science cost. So in this case, it's 10 science. And then you get the benefit listed. In this case, is gain 1 support per turn for every new trade route. Now, these ones are interesting, but the one I'm interested the most in is this interplanetary shipping database. These aren't the best technologies, and I'm not even sure that we're gonna research it. But if we manage to play around with celestial bodies, getting a trade route for each outpost development is a good bonus. So I'm gonna select it, but we'll see if we're actually going to build it. In this screen, we don't need any more food. We have enough to complete the first city. So I'm not gonna pick the greenhouse farm. Now, Eco Home will be interesting a bit later on, but right now I want to save up my science because there's an important building we'll have to build pretty soon. And then we have the magnetic fusion plant. If none of the projects interest you, you can also convert them into an automatic science each turn, and you can do it, by the way, you can also do it by doing this during the actual turn. But I'm gonna go with the magnetic fusion plant. We're gonna build it if we have real problems with power. But the problem here is that it produces -1 comfort of living. So it's not necessarily the best building, but let me actually check something. So yeah, this doesn't have any humans right now. So it has only robots, so comfort of living doesn't matter. So we can use this building in here to generate extra power. So that's actually good news. Just we need to make sure that here we don't build extra population and we keep it just to robots. Okay. Besides that, I'm gonna build some water here. We should have enough now for buying an extra city. And here I want to try to keep expanding. We want to buy this at some point, but now the priority should be science. So we want to build the laboratory probably in the new city that we get. So we could either try to push for exploring these 3 buildings, Or actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna explore this one because it gives us support and it gets us closer to getting this this city. And I want to also probably get. So for this one, we need 5 tritium and 5 silicates. Here we could probably get the nitrium. These ones are with titanium, so they don't matter that much. Here we'll get happiness, titanium and silicate, so I think I'm gonna pick this one. And we also do get some extra food. So here with the extra food, we could actually build up our first population. So we're gonna add this. And this will also give us 1 extra support. So that's actually good because we should have, by the time we want to build the city, we should have enough food. Okay. I want to remove this from water and I'm actually gonna go with science because we'll get an event pretty soon. This building is really cheap, but it's kinda quite useless. We could place it here for a bonus of 3 per 2 rocks. Okay, per 2 rocks. So for +1 support. So yeah, this building is really cheap, but is really useless. I wouldn't really recommend it. Applied science is interesting. It will generate technologies a bit faster. The ones that this is a technology. Now it's interesting, but I think technologies aren't that really powerful, to be honest. So I would prefer to prioritize other things right now. So that's why I'm gonna go the robot hub, pick the robot hub. We already have one. Maybe we don't need one anymore, but yeah, I'm gonna pick that. Now for the actual expansion points, I'm just gonna pick this titanium 1, explore here, we get some bonus titaniums. Then we'll go here and we'll finish up the city and construct the city next turn. And we're gonna go from there. So next turn. Now our leader has retired, and now we get to pick another leader. Here we can either pick this guy, which gives us 1 support for a turn every time you construct a mega structure stage. I'll be honest, isn't that powerful, but this building is interesting. It provides 2 expansions. And also adjacent mines provides an extra trade route to export the resources. So this is really good because it gives extra trade routes. And this gives an extra expansion per population, which is again pretty interesting. So this guy can be pretty good with this one. The specialization isn't that good because you have to pay a lot of resources for just 1 extra support. You would like to get more here, but these 2 skills are pretty good. Now she will give us 2 support per turn for when founding a new city. Now some of the buffs, especially for this difficulty, for normal play they're good and you can use them, but in this difficulty you really do need to prioritize support, and just 2 support isn't good enough to justify picking it necessarily. There are other things that scale a bit better. She has this skill which is interesting, providing one comfort. This is a good building and can give one of all of those different resources. This is 5 resources. You usually get more from exploration, but if you need one, just one extra resource to build something, it might save you in that case. But here I'm actually gonna go with this guy. I don't even know if I'm gonna use his powers, but both of them are pretty useless, to be honest, from certain perspective. It can be worse, but I'm gonna pick this guy because I might I might use this building to generate extra trade routes, so we'll see. So I'm gonna pick this guy, hit confirm. Now this, we could try to do a mind build right here, because we have the building from that guy. We have also this building which is a population building, and it will give you one population and provide one support for every mine owned by that city. And here we have this new building where it gives one extra project which you can pick from. So now we have 3, with this one we'll have 4, and you can also hold 2 extra projects in reserve. Now I don't think I'm gonna buy this now, because we need science. We don't produce that much science right now, and soon we'll have to construct a building that will cost quite a lot of science. So I don't think I'm gonna go this route right now. This is interesting. We could just place it in towns where we have a lot of mines, so we'll see. And greenhouses, we already have one, we don't need anymore, so I'm gonna pick this one for now. And here I'm just gonna explore this location just to be able to get a new city, and I'm actually gonna found a new city. Now this is going to be my lab city. This is where I'm gonna get most of my science. But for this city, I'm thinking that I just gonna use these 4 blocks to build population buildings, so that when I place something that boosts support in the middle, it will reach all of them. So let's try to do it like that and see how it goes. I'm gonna place this building here for now. Okay. And that's about it. I don't want to place any of these buildings. Here we still have some expansion points left, so we don't want to rush it anymore. But we could actually use this we could use this expansion point to go here and build a mine on top of it. This should give us an extra nitrate per ton. We're starting to run out of power, so let me sell some food and try to get some power. Hopefully we'll get an power generating building. We did get a power generating building, but I don't think it's really good. Here you basically you could build this in on a high location, and it will give you 2 power per turn. But yeah, I don't know. This one will be really interesting a bit later to generate a lot of support, because if we build multiple here in this city, if we build 3 extra housing with that building, that will give us 12 extra support, which will counteract our support loss for now. So I'm tempted to pick this. And yeah, Android hub it's a good building, but it costs too many resources for now, so I'm just gonna pick that and see. Okay, in terms of exploration, I want to go to this location just for the extra support. We have another possible city location which we could use in the future. Now I'm gonna prioritize support a bit, so the only regions that gives us support are these ones. And another thing, what location gives you support also shifts from one turn to another. So maybe this location doesn't give any support right now, but it will in the future. Now, this is a really good layout for a city, to be honest. It's the one that I prefer to start with, because it gives 3 possible locations for building things that can be enhanced by these types of buildings. So we might want to place an city there in the future, but right now I think I'm gonna go to this location and we get another city. Whoa, a lot of cities during this turn. Sometimes there are inside of the city this type of tiles that allow you to get extra resources. But yeah, anyways. Now we hit a small snag. We have too many projects in our hand. We need to remove some of them. And honestly, I'm tempted to remove this one, but I think I'm gonna remove the robotics robo hub for now. We do not need both of them to be right now, so we can just skip it. But next turn we should try to build some of the buildings that we have in our hand. Now for this choice I think I'm gonna go extra exploration and try to develop some of the regions there. And for this I'm gonna actually pick landing pad because it will help us a bit with exploration. Basically we pay for titanium, and this gives us an extra trade route. And I think I'm gonna expand here to get an empty spot where we can build our trade route. And I'm gonna sell a lot of food and try to improve the power, because we don't have that much of that yet. So let's do that and go ahead. And this is the part I was waiting for, the moment we get the bacteria spreader. So that's why I saved up some of the science. Basically, we'll see it in a second, but in this game you have an option to spread life. There are 3 types of life that you can spread: bacteria, vegetation, and animals. Each section, like this one, each region can have one of each spread to it. And basically the type of life that you spread will give you certain bonuses. Now for this case, in our case, we get the 1 hit per turn from this bacteria, or +2 atmosphere per turn from this bacteria. And the thing with life is that it has certain requirements which you need to fulfill in order to use it. So if I go to this region right here, the current status, let's say, is written right here. So right now in this region we have 0 temperature, we have oxygen -3, and also we have 0 rain. Now rain will always be 0, but sometimes temperature can fall to -1 and even lower if I'm not mistaken. Here we have -2, and because of that this bacteria might have issues spreading everywhere, and also heat is something that's a bit harder to get. Atmosphere is a bit easier to actually get, so for that reason I'm gonna choose this. So this gave us the bacteria spreader and also an option for things to spread. And in order to actually use this, we need to build it. So I'm gonna expand here. This will give us 2 science. We could build the garden in here, but actually I think I'm gonna build it in here, but requires population. We could build this building and it will give us a boost of support, and we can pick a new one. And sure, we could do this, and this way we have at least some support going. We still have too many projects in our hand, so I think I'm gonna sell this. This will give us some extra science, so should make things a bit easier. Now we want to build the bacteria spreader. We can build it in this location, but we need to actually expand to this location. We need science. We need to be able to expand there. We could actually use the power of this guy to get an extra expansion. So that solves that issue. And we need to get some extra science. So let me trade for science to make sure we have enough next turn. Let me use this guy power to have an extra expansion. We'll expand here. We'll wait for the science, and once we have enough science, we'll build the bacteria. Let's see, do we have some science on the map? Unfortunately, we don't have that much. We have this one, which is small, or this one that has a lot of resources, so I'm gonna go to this one. And also has a large aquifer. This will be useful, but a bit later. We might expand to this location right here, and we'll see. We can still research a project. Sure, I'm gonna go with this option just to have it for the future. And now we have 2 more project. Actually, I'm gonna sell it. It will take some time until we manage to build that. So we have 23. Next turn we're guaranteed to have enough for the bacteria spreader. So let's do that. We'll cover those archaeologies in a second. We'll cover this in a second. But right now let's build the bacteria spreader. And then let's spread bacteria. So in order to spread, you can click this button here, select the thing that you want to actually spread. In this case is for us is bacteria. Now depending on the distance to the location of the spreader, it will take a certain time to be able to recharge it. So here it will take 14 turns. Here it will take 16 turns. Now life will have requirements, so where you have it red, then it doesn't fulfill some of the requirements to spread there. In this case, the region is too cold. So we're probably gonna do it here. And keep in mind, you can only spread to locations you have explored. To explore a location, you just need to explore at least one. You can only spread to regions you have already explored. And to explore a region, you just need to explore a location. So in this case, I'm just gonna spread it in this region, which is the region home to our first city. So I'm gonna spread it here, and now the bacteria spreads, and this effect comes in, which I find pretty cool. So the planet itself changes when you start spreading life to it, and it also changes when you fulfill some of the terraforming parameters. But yeah, we managed to spread that, and now each turn will get one extra hit per turn. Okay, what do we want to do now? Honestly, I don't like that we are really low on power. I would like to build this building, and for that we need more tritium. So let's also take a look at the available buildings. We could get this building here. Basically, it provides an adjacency to all of power generation buildings. So we might use it. It costs quite a lot of resources. Also, like this building, it costs a lot of resources. But honestly, if you have one of these with 4 different buildings around it, power generating buildings, you pretty much have enough for the rest of the game. So I'm just gonna grab it. We'll see if we get to actually build it. Okay, now we need a lot of tritium. So I'm gonna set, or actually let me set it to power to make sure we don't run out of power and we can still explore. Now for the archaeology, this safari park is really good, but it's a bit late game. So this gives a lot of support and can really help you in the late game, but it will take some time to be able to build it. This archaeology is almost useless. So you just gain titanium and silicate each time you destroy a rock, and you need to pay quite a lot of resources to be able to go there. Also, this +1 resources per turn for mine is pretty good, but -2 support is bad. So I don't like this archaeology at all. I wouldn't ever use it, to be honest. Self-improving AI complex is interesting, but the comfort penalty is a bit can hit you a bit hard. But for us it might be good because we do have that city of robots where comfort doesn't really affect us, and this will give good bonuses for projects also, and it's not that expensive. We can just keep building it. So should we go safari or should we go AI complex? Safari is a bit later game, but it helps with support, which is really important, while AI complex will help us right now. So I'll actually go with AI complex and we'll try to build it in this location here. we need to have at least 2 populations, so we need to buy to build an extra robotic center in here. Okay, now we want to do something here. This position is pretty good for the resources, but actually I want to go here because maybe we might expand there and the extra support will be appreciated. This is a volcano. You can restart it. There are certain parts like this. Restarted it will immediately gain you 50 atmosphere and 10 heat, but it will cost 25 tritium. We might do it at some point, but not right now. Okay, that's about it for this turn. Let's enter and go to the next one. Here, infrastructure optimization center, it's pretty interesting because it gives you 1 extra support for each land location where this city has expanded to. This might be useful if you have really big cities. We have robot hub, but the one I actually want is this rover exploration center, because this gives you that type of it gives you a special action which allows you to explore each turn. So I think that's really powerful because it really scales up your resources gained. We'll probably get an a chance an increase quite soon, so we also need to keep that in mind. I'll probably want to construct this rover exploration here and start covering this part of the map. So for that I'll need titanium, so I can go here, but I'll probably not be able to construct it each next turn. So I think I can just explore this section and see what else is there next to my cities, which is another city. And I'll also need quite a lot of titanium. Also I need to throw away on a project. No, I don't need to do that because I have the laboratory and I can start constructing laboratories. So I'll construct one here. And now we should have enough for us to go there. Now I'll also construct this greenhouse because we have enough to also expand to a city if we want. And let's see, do we want to build something else? Maybe next turn we could try to have harvest these resources and try to expand this city onwards and build an robo hub there. So we could do that next turn. And yeah, we now hit one of the scenarios in this game, which honestly is a bit the scenarios which you need. So this is a crisis scenario. In this case there's an earth environmental crisis and you have 3 ways to approach it. In this case you can either start this project, which will ask you in 25 turns to send 50 atmos, to send 50 power and 50 tritium to Earth, And upon completion, you will gain 50 atmosphere and 50 heat, and also 5 trade routes, which is quite a good bonus, but you need to pay 50 power and 50 tritium. You have 25 turns to complete it. Or you can go to the refugees route, which basically each 2 turns you'll need to add in a new population, and if you can't do that, you'll need to buy this slums building, construct this slums building, which will provide 1 population but will reduce the support by 20 each turn, so that's pretty bad. Or you can just refuse, and if you refuse, you will get a trade embargo for 10 turns. Honestly, this is the best way to solve it. It gives you a lot of terraforming parameters. You basically get level 1 heating done, level 1 temperature, and also quite close to atmosphere, but it's pretty tough to do. It's 50 power and 50 tritium in 25 turns. That means you have to basically send up at least 4 resources on average per turn. We only have 2 trade routes, so I don't think we'll be able to do it, especially as we didn't have enough trade routes right now. But this is also pretty tough because you need to construct populations each 2 turns until you reach 25. So I don't think that either are necessarily sustainable, but for this one at least the benefits is a bit better. And we can also maybe we can get some extra trade routes for other buildings. So sure, let's choose this. And right now, after that, we really do need to prioritize. We need to prioritize getting as many trade routes as possible. So okay, this will be a bit tough. Okay, so we want to construct this building. So we want to expand probably somewhere. We could expand over these two locations, even though they are city locations. You can build on top of it without an issue. We could use some more food, and honestly we need to start working on this mission. So we need extra tritium and we need more landing pads. So honestly, for the explorations we need to get this tritium deposit, which gave us some power, so that's actually good news. Here I would like to build population, so maybe we do it next turn. Let's do it like this. Let me expand here. This gives us nitrate, which I think will be useful. And we're gonna go here, get titanium, use this, and use another one to export basically more more tritium there. This one is pretty pretty useless for our purposes because we won't be expanding here anymore. I'm just gonna use pick series, but it helped us because it gave us another landing pad. But we are pretty low on a lot of resources. I'm gonna use this for the boost for tritium, and I think I'm gonna do this, and here we're gonna stick another launching pad next turn, maybe when we have the resources. So let's just send some tritium back and we'll see. Now this is extra development, not really that useful for us. This is engineering school. It gives us more mega structures. I'm not that interested in this anymore, so I'm just gonna pick Marsha for now. This will give us population and should also give us some support, because those people should be protected there. Now we have problems with power, unfortunately, but I don't think we can do much about it, to be honest, because right now we're gonna spend our tritium on explorations. So we need to somehow get 4 titanium. Sure, we're gonna use that. It also gives us some extra food, but now we're all out of power, fortunately. Let's get to titanium to get one extra launching pad, and we're just gonna send one more to Earth. But and I'm gonna sell this building. We should be okay now. Okay, leaders available. She's really good because she has this benefit where we get extra trade routes for each free trade routes that you create. There's also this building with the embassy, which gives trade routes for the it gives support for each trade route you have from the city, and you can also enforce support with her. Plus she gives you support when you explore. Now this guy, he's mainly dedicated to building dikes. He has this building which gives us atmosphere per turn. And can scale up atmosphere pretty well. And also has this building which gives us some extra support. Now honestly I think I'm gonna go with her, because the Earth crisis requires a lot of trade routes, and she will help us build a lot of trade routes. But I don't know, this might not be the best decision, we will see. But I'm trying to actually complete this mission from Earth. Now for the buildings, I'm just gonna pick laboratory. I don't know how soon we'll manage to actually build it. But here we said we wanted to build a trade route there. This will give us 4. We could also construct the embassy, because I don't think we'll manage to explore anything this turn. Or maybe if we're lucky. Nah, we weren't. I was trying to find, maybe there was some, sometimes you get on the map locations that give you power, but we didn't manage to find it, unfortunately. So here we actually need tritium. We need a lot of tritium. So I'm gonna choose this one for now, because it gives us a lot of tritium there. Here we need extra population, and unfortunately we don't have any titanium to add more, and we don't have any power there. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna construct an embassy just for the small extra support from there. And here I want to rethink a bit my my trade routes. So we might want to build this one to give us extra titanium, to give us extra resources when we explore. We might want to build this building in this city, so that we could build more stuff in here, and also to give us extra support. Here we could also build buildings, because now when we try to build this building, it doesn't allow us, because you have a limited number of buildings that you can build, depending on the level of the number of people and robots that you have there. So this might be a good option to use it, but for that we need either power or to get some titanium from the map. And actually I think I'm gonna do it something like this, and hopefully if we go here, for instance, next turn, we'll have enough to actually get it. Here I want to cancel the projects and actually pick this, because this will allow us to improve the water in our location, because soon enough we'll probably get a higher support requirement, so we need to fit in that also. Now let's expand to this location. And was that enough? No, it wasn't enough, unfortunately. We do have enough to build power, so but we need power to clean. Well, we're not using it, so we're gonna build a magnetic fusion plant here. This should give us more power, and we should have titanium to build this next turn. But this timer is getting close to finishing, so we should start building up more trade routes, but that's not an option now. So let's just pick this one and see. Now I know I want to build this in here to give us extra support. Also I want to build this here to give us extra food. Now we should start with the mission. So I'm gonna use 2 tritium and some power. Now we're starting to get a surplus of power, so hopefully that will be enough. And I think I'm gonna go here because we need a lot of tritium. So that's that done. And now we got options for plants. This will give us an extra titanium if the city if the region has a city. But I think I'm just gonna pick the plant for now, and also some extra science. We also need to construct the sciences there. We have 19 turns. Do we have any more tritium on the map? Yes, we do. We have it here. So let's expand here. We'll get some bonuses. And then we need to expand somewhere close by to our cities. And also if we can get some support, that would be good. Sure, let's try to expand here. That should be okay for this turn. This type of event allows you to mine asteroids. So you have it will cost 8 power and 8 titanium, and it will give you 25 water. We don't have the trade routes and the resources to do this, so we're gonna let it pass. Here we have an option to pick another science, and I think this one is actually the best out of those, but I don't know if I'm gonna research anyone. It gives us extra science, which it gives us extra support per science that we per project that we sell. Gives us 10 support instead of 1 science, which is good, but I don't think it's best. And then we have the spaceport. We want to build this because it will give us a lot of resources to complete the Earth's mission, but I don't know if we will manage to actually get it. Now for exploration, we cannot explore that many things. We just need more power, so we're gonna do that for now. And where can we explore? Basically this is the only location. Sure, let's do it for some support. We have one more project, so I'm gonna sell the one that gave us I'm gonna sell the technology. Now these ones, all of them are useless. This gives us power, but we don't have any temperature level in any of our climates, and these ones I'm just not interested in right now. So we have some extra power we could use. Man, we just need tritium to build and create more power. Yeah, I think it was a bad decision to pick that that crisis. Maybe we should have just not picked anything, and in which case trading would have been stopped for 10 turns. But I don't think we have any chances to actually finishing off this project. I might want to do something. Maybe if we can build this. And let's say we go say we do this. This building allows you to explore, similar to the explorer action, but it will do it for certain turns and then it will recharge. Maybe this way we can gather a bit more resources. Now I'm happy with the power that we are going to generate, so let's gonna use those for tradings to actually okay, so this run isn't going pretty well, but So we encountered a sandstorm, which will damage your buildings, and you need to pay resources in order to repair them. And if you don't pay those resources, you get minuses to support. So in this our case is minus 10 support from this one and minus 10 from this one. And in order to repair them, we need 12 food and 2 titanium, and in this case we need 11 nitrates. I don't think we can afford to actually pay that. Or maybe... yeah, I don't think we're gonna complete the Earth mission. If we add 2 more, that would be 6. And then plus 1, 7. So we might be able to do it, but I'm pretty doubtful right now, to be honest. And we need to save up enough resources to build this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna try it, but I think there's small chances that we're gonna complete this mission. And this part is really fucking us, so I'm gonna at least repair this one. But yeah, this has been a bit painful, to be honest, at the worst time. For the projects, nothing interesting, to be honest. Here I'm just gonna go ahead and explore the closest thing available. We really do need power, and we need tritium. So yeah, let's do that one. Yeah, we don't have enough tritium in stock. We don't regenerate enough power. We've been pretty unlucky this turn, to be honest. Not enough of generators spawned in. But what can you do? This one is pretty interesting as a buff for titanium, but it requires a lot of titanium, which we don't have. A lot of power, which we don't have. The homestead just provides 4 extra support, which I'm gonna select, but yeah, I'm just gonna directly sell. And let's try to spread the bacteria. Now, is there something we can do? Maybe build an archaeology. No, we could build an archaeology here, but it's a bit wasteful and it requires a lot of power. So nothing we can do there. We could build an extra science. Do we need these resources? Not really, so we could do it. Ah, okay. I built it in the wrong position. You can relocate it, but for 2 turns, unfortunately, that was a mistake. We can just hit back. So we can build this one. I'll build it here to keep this spot open for the location, and also let's build up that that part. Now for exploration, we basically need titanium. That is our biggest problem right now. To have enough either to build this or to build this, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it. And I was actually looking for that that type of bacteria. We'll talk about it in a second. But here I'm actually gonna select public baths because it provides a lot of support and it could help us. This one is an interesting building. It gives us 5 support per life form in the climate zone, so it gives us some extra support. And we can also apply a modification that reduces the heat requirement by 1. It's interesting, but I'm gonna use this because I want to build an extra bacteria spreader if I can. And that one, I guess I can build in this city to gives us a bit more support. For exploration, I guess we need to go here, and this is actually a good thing for us because we got the rover, which we could dismantle. And now we have to make a choice. I probably gonna do this and this. And now this will give us 7 trade routes. So we could actually start and be a bit more serious about the mission, but I think it's already too late, to be honest. But I'm gonna try to do it. So we would like to go here because it's tritium and power. But I'm just gonna take this for the extra power. Well, that wasn't too great. But anyways, and here I'm actually fully gonna buy I'm gonna fully buy tritium for now so that we can send it back to Earth. Looking at these guys, I'm gonna pick her because his skill will really focus with power cost. So I'm gonna choose her, but she doesn't really have things that pretty good skills. But I'm gonna pick her because it will be more difficult with him. And oh, we could actually choose this one to give us even more trade routes and maybe complete the Earth mission. But all of these archaeologies are pretty good. All of these archaeologies are pretty good. But I'm gonna pick this one with the hopes of completing the Earth mission. And also gonna pick that one. Now I want to get an extra bacteria spreader, so I think it's time. I'm gonna destroy this mine, and instead of creating a mine on top of it, I'm gonna use it to extract water, and we'll get our first level of water there. I'm gonna place the bacteria spreader on top and use it to build this type of bacteria. And now we might want some extra locations to add more trade routes, but for now I'm gonna use this guy to go to this location, I think. Yeah. And we now basically need power and tritium. And I think we can go there to buy an extra laboratory. and we'll try to sell all of our tritium. These buildings are pretty good. This one is interesting because it provides atmosphere when near to rocks, and we could build that here in the center. And it will help us quite a lot with atmosphere and doesn't require that much titanium to build. But bacteria spreader will scale a bit faster because this will basically be free atmosphere. This each 15 turns it will add in more terraforming parameters, because each turn you add a new region, you populate it, you spread it, and that will adds up. So I'm gonna actually pick bacteria spreader. Plus we do have this life form which gives both atmosphere and oxygen. Okay, in terms of research, yeah, I think I'm gonna pick that so that next turn we can add in a new population and maybe also add in more landing pads. Now for exploration, we really do need extra tritium and extra power, unfortunately. That's what we need. So maybe I'm just gonna do this because there are a lot of resources there, but we don't have enough tritium. We have 11 turns, and we have 7 trade routes. So we could send 70 resources per turn. So we can barely be able to manage it, be able to send the resources required. But for that we need to have the resources required. And unfortunately I don't think we'll manage to actually have them. So we're gonna send 2 tritium. And the rest I'm gonna paste into power, because maybe that way we can maybe we could build up a bit more resources to be able to send it. But yeah, I don't think we'll be able to complete this mission, unfortunately. This one is interesting. We could place it in this building. Here we wanted to build this one, but we don't have enough power. Yeah, power is really getting to be a problem. Here we want to build this one, and we want to build this one to give us extra support. And I just want to research this one for the extra power and the tritium. And yeah, we just need the trade routes, so we're gonna do that. And we'll have to do this, unfortunately. Now we are looking for power and tritium, and we're looking to not waste too much power with exploration, so let's try to go there. Yeah, and this seems fine. This building is interesting for the extra population, but I'm actually gonna pick the oxygen factory and try to rush a bit the parameters so that we'll get extra support in there. And there isn't any more accessible tritium. So we might want to just accept it, and I don't think we're gonna complete this mission. I don't remember what the penalty for not completing it is. Yeah, we'll have a 10 turns trade embargo. So we won't be able to trade resources, but I don't think we can actually physically complete this mission. So the problem is we wasted a lot of resources with it, but I don't think we can complete it. We need to focus now on building up our resources so that we're ready for the embargo. And this building is also really interesting because it gives power, atmosphere, and heat. But yeah, from we won't be giving more resources there. We have wasted a bunch of resources, unfortunately, but I don't think it's worth it. And honestly, pretty soon we will lose. So because we have like 5 turns to go. Let's repair that. Gives us some bonus there. Let's try to go here. And I want to make a surplus of tritium to be able to build this one and not have problems with power anymore. This is a pretty interesting buff, and I think I'm gonna pick this one for the regional buildings. The other one is pretty good, but archaeologies we don't build that often, and 20% is better than 10%, but I don't know, could pick other stuff there. This building is pretty good because it provides free support per adjacent population. But also, you notice it has this it raises the maximum amount of buildings in a certain city. So there are cool combos that you could potentially do with this building. Road paver is also really good because it gives us expansion points, and I'm just gonna choose that one. Now, I really do want to start building both the magnetic diffusion plant and also a new bacteria spreader. So let me do it like this. I'm gonna take over this region. Oh, and we still can't do it anymore. Do we have some extra tritium we can get somewhere? Have the 6-1. Sure, let's grab this one here. And then we will get 5 power per turn, so that will be pretty good. Here I'm just gonna... Do I want to delete it right now, or do I want to get extra stuff? Actually, let me reconfigure this. Let me go back a couple of turns. I'll delete this. I'll build this here. And I don't want to cancel it right now. I just want to have enough for this building, which will give us bonus to power generation. And I think I'm gonna buy more science and sell more food. And see. Here again isn't that strong, but this one with Mercury is interesting. We might be able to start working on some projects, especially when the trade route with Earth will be interrupted. Here I'm just gonna buy a homestead. So I want to build this building to boost our power production, and this will hinder us for 2 turns, but I'm also gonna build this here to get a boost also from that. Now I could construct this here, which will give us a good support per turn, and I'm gonna do that. And I might want to get this building, but soon we'll reach our first terraforming progression, which is good. And you'll see exactly what to do there. And here with her, I'm just gonna choose that, give some extra atmosphere and oxygen. I'm just gonna go there for the support mostly. This gives us extra comfort, which this city is meant to be a comfortable area. This gives us just support. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna expand here. And there are certain locations on the map which have special effects. One of those is this viewpoint tower, which just provides 1 comfort to the city that goes there. Or these sandstones, which you can build a guided tour, which just provides 5+5 support. But here this should boost up our support a bit because we have some people in this city. So yeah, that's good. Now for the trade routes, well, actually next turn we'll have enough science. So what do we actually need here? What do we want to build? We could have more power. We also could build this building right here, which besides the power will give us atmosphere and heat, and I think that that's actually a good idea. So let's try to move till then. Or we can also increase the level of the ocean. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's try to increase the level of the ocean. And we have 2 extra trade routes, so let's buy some tritium and sell some food. So when you hit a parameter, it will give you 100 support right off, which is quite good. And it will also should, depending on the parameter, should also increase the comfort of your people, granting you even more support. Here I'm gonna pick cultured meat for now. I don't know if we're going to actually build it. But I would like to have an extra bacteria spreader. So we need more titanium to buy this building and have the space for it. We're probably gonna buy it here. Now, if I played this a bit differently, we might have been able to complete the Earth mission, but if we got this mine a bit earlier, I think we might have been able to do it, but that's it. What can you do about it? We'll just have to live with it. Actually, I'm gonna replace this with an bacteria spreader. This will provide like free support as of now, but with the bacteria spreader we can maximize it, maximize the thermometer the terraforming parameters a bit faster. So I'm gonna try to spread in this location, and this should be good enough. Still have like 2 trade routes to go. Sure, more tritium. And now we got our first animals, penguins, and they require 2 oxygens. Sure, we can grab it, but we need to see. Here, the one that's really interesting, and I'm actually gonna stop the Earth one for now, is the exploration satellite. This will give us more exploration satellites to use, and as we don't really have trade routes with Earth anymore, we could just work on the satellite instead. Okay. So besides that, what do we want to do? Now we have quite a lot of trade routes, so we don't need to really build this building anymore, since the trade route with Earth stopped. I would focus on getting some more water, so we just need to focus on that. We need 5 to be able to do it, but we can't really trade with Earth, unfortunately. So we need to get some tritium from the map. Sure, let's go here. So now we should complete this project, which will give us some extra water, which will boost up our terraforming parameter there. Now, in terms of her, I would like to get the plant spreader, so I guess we can get here just to start getting that nitrate. And this should be okay for now. We can use the rest of the trade routes to start working on the exploration satellite. This should be fine. Okay, we got another expectation increase. It's 90 now. We really don't have that many more turns left if we don't do something quick. From these buildings, I actually prefer the oxygen factory. It gives an extra atmosphere and oxygen. Now this project is completed. We can now enable it. So let's enable. And now our climate, actually our water improved. And you can see it in the map that extra water zones is added. Here there will be seas created. But we'll see it a bit later. Now we need nitrate. We really need nitrate. So we're just gonna go here for now. And now we can build the plant spreader. Trade routes are useless for me at the moment. I don't really have a way to increase to add in more zones you can expand to. So I'm gonna replace this with this trade route with an plant spreader, and I'm gonna try to spread this plant here. So it will take 12 turns to do it again, but this plant gives us an extra prestige. It also gives us 4 support per turn if the region has a city, and also atmosphere and oxygen. And you also get bonuses when you actually spread them. So when you spread when you spread life forms, I think it's first time, second time, and then at certain intervals you get extra support. Now the penguin will be interesting, but there isn't really a zone where we can actually spread it. We need at least 2 oxygen to do it. And if we take a look, we are at 0 right now, but even when we reach level 1, there won't be any zone where we could spread that. Now, would be interesting to start this volcano. Would give us a lot of extra bonuses, but we need 25 tritium and we don't have that. We could use the water to build an oxygen factory, but maybe we would like to expand somewhere. This has a deep water deposit, which can give us a lot of water for the terraforming parameters. So I think I actually want to create a city here. Now for the leaders, yeah, she's really good. So the specialization reduces the cost of plant spreaders by 50%. So this is very good specialization. She can reduce the recharge time of spreaders by 1 turn, and again it's really good. And you can use this action to choose different other life forms. So yeah, she's really good as an leader. She's dedicated to celestial bodies. How much? Okay. If we were to develop a celestial body to... Oh no, it's 1 time. Okay. So this confused me a bit, but basically you could use this skill to gain 25 support, and each time you use it you gain 25 support per development level on that celestial body. So you could add in like 75 support per turn, which isn't bad, but it doesn't actually cover our deficit. With her we would be able to spread way faster and also gain some extra support. She has explored 2 locations. Okay, she might be a bit interesting. The only problem is we don't have any body developed, any celestial body developed as of now. So we need to actually do that. Yeah. I like her explore. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with her. So I'm gonna pick this leader. And try to play a bit around with development, but also the planetary exploration tour is pretty good. Okay. What do we need? Need to do this for now. And for the exploration, we now have a lot of electricity. So we're gonna go there. we would like to get this city right here, so I'm gonna go here. And can we found the city? Yes, we can. So let's found the city and construct the region there. Is there any project we can build that can give us more expansion points? No, not really. And for that, we're just gonna add our satellite. Now for research, we could buy this miner's cottage. And we could add it in here. Expand. And once we have the requirements for electricity, we can extract the water once we have enough power. We managed to maximize our oxygen. And this building is really good because it basically reduces the time it takes for spreaders attached to that city. So in the city we have 2 spreaders, one for bacteria, one for plants. In this city we have, I think, also 2 spreaders for bacteria. If we use this building, it will actually reduce that time by 43%. And I think I'm gonna use that in this city right here, just to reduce the time a lot. Now for our rover, I think I'm gonna explore that. And it's the further you go with the rover, the longer it will take to recharge. Now we are at 6 turns for recharging. And soon enough I'll be thinking to remove this building from there. Okay, I would like to have some science to build this in here. So sure, is there something with support and science? No, we just have this one, so I'm gonna research it. And now we can build this building, which will reduce the time for the spread. Notice that also the cities change when you do a spread. So when you spread plants to a certain regions, your cities will also change. I think it's visible only for plants, not for animals. But yeah. So next turn we'll complete the satellite. Should we try to get a new life form? Yes, let's try to also complete that project. Now for the explorations, we'll just pick the ones closest because again we don't have that much power. Here I'm just gonna pick the igloo. We might, just for the population, we might want to add those more people in the future. And here I'm gonna pick development center because I want to have more project proposed. I think we're about behind on that, and at some point you'll get a lot of useless projects, so we want to try to build this sooner. And for that reason I'm gonna explore this with the satellite just to receive more science. Can we extract? No, we can't. And here I'm gonna prioritize the regions that give us support, but also looking to get science to be able to build this. We have one extra project. And I think I'm just gonna throw that out. And I don't know if we will be able to ever build this, to be honest. And food, I think we're okay for now, so I'm just gonna throw those two, and we can go to the next next turn. But before that, let me spread one more time this one. The next one will probably be the heat one, because these are advancing nicely. Heat might be left a bit behind. This one would be interesting for that city where we create, where we have robots and create power. This one is a power generation, and it will give you 1 atmosphere per adjacent rock. So we could place it somewhere around here and get 1 atmosphere also, but don't find it that exciting. Sure, let me grab this one, place it here. This should give us an extra tritium, and that should be good. And we could just add in this building here, and we could upgrade the park. And let's upgrade it so that it will also give us some terraforming parameters. I think I also added the gene vault. Yes, I've added it in this city. So here is where we want to focus our spreaders from now on. Okay, this seems good. We'll try to build here this building. We don't care about population because here we are basically, I think, only robots, so the comfort doesn't really matter for us, and the boost of science will be pretty good. And speaking of science, is there any places where we can get some extra science? We don't really have... we can barely explore, to be honest, because we don't have enough power. And basically that's it. So we explore only one time this turn. And we still have trade embargo with Earth. Not much we can do here. We could just spend free nitrate this turn for the trade route. Research campus is interesting. It gives you an extra population and also adjacency to science for science production buildings. This domed park is probably the best building that gives you... So there are a couple of buildings or more buildings that give you a flat support per turn, and then an adjacent population support boost. This building has the best performance out of all of them, but it's also the most expensive. So this gives you 4 support per turn flat and gives you 4 support per turn for each adjacent population. But if you take a look at this building only gives you 3 per adjacent population. But this costs 4 electricity and 4 food, which are pretty straightforward and easy to get. This costs 8 nitrate and 20 silicate. So this is really expensive. I don't really like it. So we're just gonna go another robo hub. Now for buildings, I think I'm gonna build this one here. And hopefully we'll get more and better projects given to us. Now in this one I can build this one here, just to give us a bit more support and not bleed support that much. Now for the satellite, where you see these symbols on the map, this will give you extra terraforming parameters, and I think actually it's useful to get it. And we can also drop a nuke. This will give you extra terraforming parameters, but you be careful because it raises global radiation. So our people will be a bit uncomfortable for the next 3 turns. And also, if you have a city in this region, that will be permanent. So I think I'm gonna use it. 10 atmosphere and 10 heat is quite a lot. It's like 5 turns of heat and 1.5 turns of atmosphere. So I'm actually gonna use it, and this will boost up the atmosphere, which will reduce radiation in our cities. So this is good news. Now we'll have the debuff from the radiation for 3 turns, but that's not that big of an issue. It will become better pretty soon. Okay. Is there something we can explore? We can explore this one. And I think that's about it. We still have issues with power. And unfortunately we cannot trade with Earth. We pretty much can't really do anything. But we can go to the next turn. So now the support really did increase. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to win this session. We got bad luck with the Earth, so that really I shouldn't have committed to it. I should have picked directly closed trade routes with Earth, but what can you do? Like I said, this difficulty is really difficult. I did some mistakes during this turn, but really it was rare for me to actually beat this game. Again, is really at this level is really difficult. But yeah. So anyways, we are pretty okay with everything. I guess we can just go to the next turn. Here we can get Alpine Forest. We might be able to actually fulfill it. Here none of the projects really interest me, but we might have spots to place it. Yeah, we do have this one, and this will really boost up our support, and we might be able to get a new life here. We could try with polar bears. Now we still have the trade embargo with Earth. I'm interested now in building the animal spreader, which requires water. and see if we can somehow maybe have a place to spread the penguins. No, not really. We probably need oxygens to spread the penguins, and for that we'll need to build out. We'll need to wait for like 5 turns, but we don't really have 5 turns. Yeah, there isn't a place where we can actually spread them. Okay. Nothing you can do, I guess. Let's try to build this. Or actually, let's build here another robot hub. And maybe next turn we can get that tritium deposit. Here we really do need to focus on happiness, on support. So I'm gonna just grab some support sections. Now animals we can't really spread. Here let's try to push up oxygen. Let's try to spread it as much as possible. Let's go here and spread it. And see. But we got another support requirement. Yeah, probably in 2 turns we're gonna lose the game, fortunately. Can try to maybe get some extra support from explorations, but that's about it. We can't really spread any animals. We could spread some more bacteria. Let's try to go here. But right now we really do need an parameter search to save us. And unfortunately I don't think we'll be getting that. So yeah, this will be our final turn. Well, we reached a total number of 261 points. I think we might have one more turn, but oh, we got that extra. Actually, don't know. Oh, oxygen made it to second level, and because oxygen made it, we can actually spread penguins, which will give us an extra support. But still, this will be just an extra turn. Now, can also get deer. Now, I thought that the game will be over soon, so I just picked her at random. But honestly, she's not that that great. It might work a bit for us with the independence speech. This will give us some comfort, and you can also if you use, before choosing a project, if you use this, you use exploration, you'll get some extra projects, and I think I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna use that. Is there something we might want to build? I think this is the only building that we want. So let's try to focus on nitrate. And now, do we have something good for the building? I actually like the Rover Explorer. And we can pick one more. And I think I'm gonna pick this one to have even more possible projects to research. Here I would like to have more power, and actually the embargo with Earth actually finished, so let's sell some food and try to buy more power. I'm gonna use this building. And here the weather control facility is pretty interesting, so I'm gonna pick that. Basically it will increase your zone by one, each of the options, and I'm gonna build it here because we might be able to spread some of more exotic life there. But I think the game is pretty much over. To be pretty hard for us to recover all that support. Might be able to do this actually. Let me see if we do this. Yeah, we can barely manage it. So we have one more turn. Now let's try to explore first. Sure, let's just go here. I want to pick this project because extra ocean is hard to come by. And maybe an extra bacteria spreader. We're gonna extract the water. This will give us a bonus of 40 ocean. And with the one from there, we should be able to get the ocean and get some extra parameters there. Let me try to also get some extra. And here, let me get some bonuses from the support. But yeah, I think this turn we might be done for, guys, to be honest. We can extract this water to get some extra ocean, but we need 10 ocean from somewhere. And I don't think we can have that available. We will need to expand to here. So let's do it like this. I'm gonna use a road paver deposit to get 3 extra expansions, which will take me here. And oh, I need some extra power. So let's go back. If we don't actually explore anything, no, we need to go even. Nah, we can't go back anymore. So yeah, we'll just use extract oceans. And I'll just convert everything into science because we're pretty much over. That was the game. Okay. So this was the game. Honestly, I think I did a good job, but we had a bunch of bad luck in the game. I could have played certain moments better. I think that trade mission with Earth really screwed us. I shouldn't have attempted it. I should have just ignored it and took um, the trade routes without losing the trade routes. Should have been okay, but what can we do about it? Yeah, this was Terraformers. Again, it's a game that I really do appreciate. I suggest you try to grab it, play around with it, see how you like it. I will probably play some games from time to time on the channel and finally try to beat this challenge. But again, this challenge is really difficult. Like, the support grows really quickly. Honestly, this session was a bit shorter than usually. Usually I lose, but a bit later. And the times that I won, I got some really good combos which I could use, because the problem with this score is that it's really easy to get the first half part of it, but after a time you struggle to get the final 1000 score. So that's one of the other things I've seen while using this scenario. But honestly, if you think that I've played this game, I did some mistakes during this game, or you think that I've used the wrong strategies, or maybe if you have other strategies you like to use it with it, and just let me know. Let me know in the comments. But hope you enjoyed it and have a great day. Thank you.